So they're just feeling each other out early. Jackson Bowen will come up against Grenfell. Front position. Lant got a boot on it. Musgrove just wraps up his opponent. So I want it locked inside that 50 metre. Back live. Hurried off hands. McCarthy couldn't quite get it over. Bowen with hurried hands. He's going to get pinged. Didn't correctly dispose of it. On the spot was umpire Gardner. We might get to see a bit of a replay of that. And just see how when it's Paredes. Just had a bit of a look around then, did Nathan Paredes. He thought he might offload it, but I think he's going to decide to play on and have a dob himself, and he has from 45 out and hits the post.
Certainly had gave that a red-hot go, just kept turning on him in the last moment. Clips the top of the post there. That's a 3-point lead still to the Tigers. The only straight kick of the night so far to Daniel Quinn with the Rover goal.
There's Nyhouse. Brown has managed to find himself a fair bit of space at the 50-metre arc, and he's got it. Hartlett is his target. Bounced over the top. Hartlett just soccers it on. So those 3 possessions, they've got it taken high there. 3 possessions, they've got it down to the 50. Now they've got time to have a look. Opening himself up was Bailey Edwards. Bailey Edwards from 60 out, bombed it. And in his search for distance, went right.
See what he was trying to do there was an empty goal square, but he was just didn't have the distance on the kick.
So Matty Green can run this out a long way. He had a player come on off the bench there, which is Gallagher. He ignored him, went to Paredes instead. Wilson's worried out of it by Gallagher, and he gets dragged and taken to the ground, and the ball will be thrown in directly in front of the coach's box area here at TIO Stadium. Nightcliff's got a fair bit to play for here tonight, and they want to consolidate a spot early in the run home to the finals, I would have thought. Whether that's 4th or 5th, they still want to consolidate it. Hurried kick back, it hasn't gone the full measure. No one can get clean possession away. And a free kick's been found as a high tackle. It's going to go to Braith Hodges. No, it'll go against Braith Hodges to Kobe McCarthy. Butchers the flyer off hands. Hartlett roved it, wrapped up though by the St Mary's defence, and a free kick's been found. It's going to go to Wilkinson. Matthew Wilkinson goes back inboard. Not a great kick. Now this lands in the hands of Bailey Edwards, who can run straight towards an open goal and score.
So 2 opportunities they've had the Tigers from mistakes in the forward line, and have taken them both early. So a 10-point lead as we're coming into the 10th minute mark of the first quarter. They're pinned for holding the ball, but a bad kick out there, and he's just gone, thank you very much.
Yeah, and Bailey Edwards made no mistake about it. Well, the Saints green machine needing a little bit to get oiled and ready to go. Bit slow out of the blocks. 10 minutes gone already in this first term, Nick. And Nightcliff certainly using the ball a little bit better than their opponents.
Absolutely, taking a couple of opportunities that the Saints have given them. I think there's another warning or something's going on in the goal square.
No, they're calling for the ball behind the goal umpire, who was busy writing down his score. But the ball
coming from the other end now.
Yeah. No waiting for it. There was no. The ball's, I think, gone over the fence and out of reach.
Over the top of the Michael Long Centre, some young kids out there.
Yeah. Someone just got themselves a Sharon. Braxton Armat. Brody Philo got it, and then a hurried boot. moves there. So's Wilson, but Wilson's the one that gets it. His kick, while he is under pressure, lands in the hands of Long. So Jacob Long could bring it out this grandstand side. He's looking further upfield, and he's going to go up that centre wing corridor. Punched away from Matt. Oh, taken high there was Cruiserberger, and he's going to get a free kick as a consequence. So Jack Cruiserberger just got taken in the contest. He's looking for Calder. Jackson Calder presented himself, punched away from him. Yaron couldn't quite get a hand on it. Now it's landed in the hands of Lant over the top, and has gone across and through for a point.
Hartless just come to the bench for the Tigers. Rest.
Ryan Nyhouse looking. He could go short to Wilson. Ignores him, has a bit of a bounce. He's gone to a contest instead. Cruiserberger is the target. Lant couldn't get it the first time, got it the second time. Hurried kick, though, I think is going to bounce out of bounds, and it does. It was Wines who was leading the race to the ball. The ball will be thrown in. Bad field position as far as St Mary's are concerned. Just gave up front position. Robinson got it there. Bailey Edwards, goal scorer for the Tigers already tonight. Tigers have got 2 goal scorers. Green Machine yet to get on the board as far as goals are concerned.
So far, a typical Tigers St Mary's match where they feel each other out in this first quarter, and then hopefully all opens up in the second.
Yeah, that was the bigger body of Jackson Bowen there for the Tigers. Loose inside. Wines reaching down to get it. They just keep moving it forward. Yaron, quick hands out. Comes to Lant. Left foot shot at goal.
So very similar to the way the Tigers have got their goals. Just kept the ball moving forward. Waited for the Rover to pick it up, and he's just potted it through. So Lant gets the first score on the board for St Mary's.
Yeah, watch this replay. Just keep pushing it forward, does Gallagher. Comes to Lant. Lant with a goal. Well, I don't know that it's going to be a pretty game of football with both sides putting the pressure on the way that they are, but it will be an intense battle.
There was big rivalry between these two clubs over the years.
So Jackson Bowen will take on Braxton Armat. They just crash into each other. Armat, though, gives it off to Paredes. Nice work. Paredes just bombs it forward. Loose. Oh, this is dangerous. Hillier couldn't quite get a hold of it. Picked up by Nyhouse. Hurried kick out. He wasn't looking for a specific target. He's going to have to be careful here. And no, umpire Loney just says, give it to me, I'm going to throw it in.
Good benefit of the doubt there for him, but
yeah, very much a benefit of the doubt. I'm not sure that he was looking for anyone particularly.
No, I think he had someone picked out a green shirt.
But we have the benefit here being up in the commentary position. Again, Bowen takes the front position. Sliding. Reach in there from Quinn, couldn't quite get it. Now there's bodies. Moo overruns it. Brockland. In fact, it was Parnell. McCarthy's in there, Hartlett's in there, but it's going to come out via Saints through Jay Boyle. Off hands at the back. Oh, Hillier couldn't quite get a hold of it. Sliding, though. Brown didn't worry about trying to pick it up. Drags down Paredes. Oh, desperation everywhere in the goal square, and Nightcliff might come away with it, except a free kick for holding the man is going to go to Yaron, I suspect.
Yeah, I think so. I think he may have been legged in there at one stage.
I think he might have been legged and dragged down when he wasn't in possession. We'll see if there's a replay, and if there is, we'll get a better idea. But Yaron is going to kick from 9 metres out directly in front, and he doesn't miss those.
No, it's 2 goals for both sides, very, very similar. But that one there, I think Nick Yarran did just get his legs grabbed.
Here we go.
Through. Here we go.
So Hillier comes over the top. Nyhouse is there. Paredes. Well, Paredes almost got legged himself. I think
off the ball.
There, no, he got thrown off the ball there. So you could have either Paredes or Nicky Yarran.
Yeah, they got themselves in a position there that they had to rush that through, or St Mary's going to get a goal and allow it to happen, unfortunately, for the Tigers. But it's tightened this game right up, and St Mary's have hit the front.
3 points the difference here. St Mary's have gone in front. Promising start by the Tigers. Bowen got his hands on it on the way down. It's going to be a bouncing ball. Now it's a kick. Musgrove. Musgrove's looking up forward. Calder's just holding his lead, so he's got 2 there. Braden Grenfell's the other target. Yarran was at the fall of the ball at the front. So is Vallejo. They're just waiting for it to come out. Stepping back into trouble. Nyhouse with a quick kick off to his teammate in Hammond.
Lucks of fortune there for the Tigers, but ooh.
Oh, Hammond.
And he got high as well. So
and he got clipped on the way through, and it'll be a 50-metre penalty.
Yeah,
James Gow, he just copped him. He just copped him after he'd marked it.
Yep. Pretty stiff for the 50 there, because he was going for the ball, but he did hit him high. And
well, the mark had been paid. That's the problem.
Yep.
So, just some proactive, a little bit of proactive match management. That sort of thing can start fights. There's Gow. Just comes back and easy as you like, leans into it, and probably leans into it a little bit too easy.
Yep.
Through for a point, so they really need goals. So just watch this. Yeah, he's paid the mark, and then he's just copped him right on the cheek. Just
unlucky there, he popped his head up at the right moment, but he got the 50, but it didn't hurt him too much in the end.
No, Cruiserberger with a handball over to his teammate Green. So Matty Green makes his way up from Tennant Creek, I'm told, or Catherine, every week. Dylan Lant picks out his teammate. Now he's running on, is Dylan Lant. Calder, he's not going to get there. It's going to come off hands. Liam Hunt was there. But nobody's won clean possession. Still scrambling on the bottom. Hunt to Grenfell. Grenfell just pops it up. Calder's got 2 to beat. Yarran again set himself. Calder, though, is going to recover and then snap over his shoulder. Wasn't much in that.
If you thought there was a big breeze out of the right, it wasn't. It just turned at the last moment on him.
Now, I tell you, if he just gets a little bit more of assistance on the spin from the Nightcliff players, that might have been a goal.
Absolutely.
Back at the restart, Hartlett with it from Nyhouse. 2 former AFL players. Kobe McCarthy. Wilkinson's come all the way down to give Robinson to contest against Robinson, which has proved to be a benefit because Wilkinson's drawn a free kick. So he can send it up long. Calder sets himself. Punched away by Nyhouse. Comes back to Brown. Hartlett. Well, taken out in the marking contest, I would have thought, and it was paid. So Snelling will get it.
Just ticked into time on. 3-point lead to St Mary's.
Not much in this at the moment. Nyhouse, they can go to Nathan Brown if they want. They don't. Instead, they go over to Hartlett. He's racked up a few possessions early in this quarter.
Yeah, he certainly run some kilometres.
Politis has got it here. One of their juniors. Politis comes out to Wines. Wines can go inboard and picks out a teammate. And they can run through Hartlett with handball over. They got the pick here. There's Bailey Edwards, one of the goal scorers for the Tigers. Well, a bit of a contest. It's picked up, though, by Butcher. Butcher around the corner, bounces it towards goal. And It'll beat the teammate. Well,
if they'd have got that goal, I would have been putting that down. One of the goals here. That was about 10 or 12 great passes by the Tigers. Just couldn't finish it off.
No. Now Saints look equally dangerous. It's in the hands of Dylan Lant on centre wing. Just waiting for it there, I thought, was Hunt. And they're going to get a chance to run it away. Politis has got it here for the Tigers. Pointing to the man on the mark and then just sends it inside the forward 50. Moo burrows his head down but gives it out to Bailey Quinn. Comes back to Wilson. Wilson on the turn. I think he's going to pick out, is it Edwards? It is. So Bailey Edwards gets a chance to slot through his second. Good build-up there from the Tigers. Moo onto Wilson, and Wilson just spun on a 20-cent piece and got it to Edwards.
Good the last couple of minutes or so as we ride into time on here.
Edwards comes in. He's already kicked one. Has he got two? Yes, he has.
Any time for a goal for the Tigers.
Well, they really needed that. That was a steadier in my books.
Yep, 3 goals, 321 and 2 goals, 5-17.
Moo on to Quinn. And then Wilson just turned on a 20-cent piece there. Look at this.
Yep.
Bang.
Defender wasn't expecting the ball, him to turn that quick and the ball would come back as quick as he did because he was caught out of position. But
good awareness from Shawnee Wilson there to pick out his teammate. So Robinson will go up against Braxton Armat. Both sides looking to assert some dominance leading into the finals. We're in the last couple of weeks before we get to the finals. Philo gets wrapped up and dragged to the ground. So we'll have another restart. Wasn't going to get anywhere. One out by Braxton Armat. Huge punch away. Musgrove led the race to the ball initially, then got outpaced. He's asking the question. Ball hasn't come out, and they're going to restart it.
The umpire gave plenty of time to see what could happen there, but it didn't come out, so he went in to grab it.
Hartman. So they can go forward here. The Green Machine just sticking his arm up and dragging it back in there was Smithson. He just stuck one arm up, dragged it back, so he can go back. Josh Smithson can go back and have a shot at goal.
Tough angle. We've seen one kicked in earlier game from about the same position tonight. No breeze to speak of.
No. So Smithson can come in. He sets it up, but it's going to go across the face of goal and through for a point.
Out here, Tigers. Another one down the line now if he wants him.
Go back live in a moment. You see how Smithson just put that up. Big claw just grabbed it. We're back live now. Daniel Jackson. Jackson's going to kick to a contest. Calder's gone up onto centre wing. As a consequence, he's dragged out Ben Vile. Moo couldn't quite keep it in, and the siren sounds to end the first term.
So good first quarter, proves what we were expecting. The Tigers 3 goals, 321 to St Mary's, 2 goals, 6. We're back here very shortly for the second quarter at TIO Stadium from round 15 action. Nightcliff Tigers taking on St Mary's.
This afternoon here at TIO Stadium. To the left of your radio they go.
Wow, what a goal to start the game.
Beautiful. Goes for home and has nailed an absolute ripstop. From the pocket, and he's kicked an absolute ripper.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to AFL NT's coverage of the 22-23 TIO NTFL season here from TIO Stadium in Darwin. Tonight, round 15 action, the men's Premier League, Nightcliff Tigers taking on St Mary's. My name is Nick Danks, my commentary partner this evening, Ashley Manakaris, and a good start there from both sides, with Tigers leading at the moment by 3 points.
Yeah, they fought their way, they were in front. And then, of course, the St Mary's side worked their way to be 3 points up before the end of the quarter, but they got back. And courtesy, 2 goals to Bailey Edwards. 4
out of the 5 goals tonight scored have been by basically Rovers doing their jobs and picking up loose balls has been knocked forward.
They have. As Nightcliff will go forward, Jacob Long will cut that off. Give it off to the youngster in Braith Hodges. Hodges' kick was on line to Hillier, but it got intercepted. Hartlett's in there, Hillier again. Now it comes back to Long. Long goes around in a circle, comes back to young Hodges. Hodges, right foot, it's going to bounce. And perhaps they were playing around with it a little bit, but they got out of trouble there to the green machine and got it moved forward.
Important game tonight. The Tigers need this to keep themselves in place in the 5, and St Mary's want to stay in touch with the top 2 sides. A couple of wins already today. Southern Districts defeated the Tiwi Bombers by 89 points. Pints defeated Buffs by 18.
Jackson Bowen there. Took the front position. Free kick's been found. It was for a high tackle. And go to Nightcliff. It comes out to Philo. Philo was a little bit in and out of the game in that first quarter. Probably need him to step up a little bit. Robinson had led the race to the ball, but a free kick's been found. Wilkinson just gave Robinson a nudge in the back.
Umpire's been hot on that all night.
Robinson now is going to have to send it long. Paredes drops back. Butcher just came through and took Paredes out. Let go, play on. McMoo with hands to Hartlett. Hartlett from outside 50, bombs towards the goals. That's an experience of an 193-game AFL player right there.
Absolutely. He saw his full forward run towards him and opened up the whole goal square. He thought, I'll put this one over the top of him. Unfortunately, just to the right.
Jack Hammond goes over to Kieran Parnell. 2 bounces, 3 bounces. Young Parnell with a handball over to Paredes, the skipper. Paredes to Musgrove. Dancing around is Parnell. Up to centre wing. They're going to get away with it here, perhaps. Jackson got a hold of it for Nightcliff. And the Tigers eventually just stopped the momentum by forcing the ball out of bounds. So Bowen's had work to do. And so is Braxton Armat. The Saints. Yeah, the youngster Braxton Armat got in front position there. Look away handball from Boyle. Jay Boyle. Calder got fingertips on it. So too did his teammate Smithson, who just put the ball forward. In there is Paredes. So too is Nicky Yaron. Brown was the one that couldn't get away cleanly. Hurried handball. Hartlett got wrapped up and dragged to the ground by Hammond when he didn't have possession. And I think he's going to get a free kick as a consequence. Play's been stopped. Advantage originally paid, but there was no advantage. So it's going to go back. It's going to go to to Hartlett. So Hamish Hartlett can bring it out to the Morris Rioli grandstand side, and he does. To Moo. Moo can keep the ball moving. Instead, he goes over the top. Held in the contest there. I thought it was Edwards. Let go. It's going to be socked forward. Robinson might lead the race to the ball. And it doesn't.
He's going to throw it in.
Yeah, they're going to ask the... I don't know what the St Mary's... I don't know what Green's asking the question about there. Pretty obvious to me. Just to let go.
Yeah, certainly a slight grab there early in that attack, but hard to see for the umpire on that angle.
No. Hammond stepped back inside and then just kicks it long, but it's gone back into the middle corridor. This is danger. And it's the big man, Jackson Bowen, who, after 2 attempts, marked it. He can go in short, and he does.
And he's got a 50.
Well, this is one of the things, the rule itself will actually change next year, but young Hodges just moved off the mark, and that was a problem, and the umpire was right on it. So when you call stand, you've got to stand.
You've got to stand, yep. He definitely moved for there. He had no exactly what was going to happen, because Jackson Bowen was always going to chip that across.
Yeah.
But, of course, you can't move until he does it.
No. So you can't move until he does it, or if the umpire calls play on. But I've got to say to you, Bowen did well to mark that, because that was fingertip stuff.
So it's that one there, coming in off the corner there.
Yeah, okay, so it was inside the protected zone. So it was Luke Hillier, so it wasn't Braith Hodges at all. It was Hillier moving off the protected zone into the protected zone. So, yeah. Again, they're coach killers, Nick.
Yep, that's a settler. They've just got the Tigers back in front. 5 minutes into the second quarter.
It's a handy break at 10 points, and the way this game unfolds, it's a breather for a moment, but they just got to maintain it. Braxton Ahmad, good hands. Boyle, hurried kick. Dragged in. Uppitz was there. It was a high tackle. Well, Daniel Jackson was on the receiving end of that. Comes out to Wines. Wines is going to bring it right up in front of the commentary position. Bowen's up there. See this ball come in. Bulk changes there, taking the opportunity while the ball is close to the interchange. Jackson, Bowen, Braxton told to be starting a metre apart. Thrown in. Hillier overruns it. Philo, just picked it up and then straight away onto his feet. Was touched into the hands of Huppitz. Saints going right in there. Punching it forward, though, was called up. Nicky Yarran trying to run onto it. Burrowing their head in there for the Tigers was Snelling. Still not out. Now it comes out. Snelling again. There's been a push and a free kick's been found, and it's going to go to St Mary's. Who's on the receiving end of that one? Boyle. So Jay Boyle will get that.
Pushing the back off the ball.
After disposal.
Yep, the umpire was right next to it when it happened. To bring it back to 4 points.
Jay Boyle. Yeah. Gets an applause in the goal square. And so the margin gets cut to 4 points.
Third goal scorer, of course, for St Mary's, and there's 3 goal scorers on the board for the Tigers. Bailey Edwards has got a couple, but 4 goals, 4:28 to 3 goals, 6:24. 7 minutes coming to the 8-minute mark of the second quarter. The Tigers leading by 4 points in a tight contest.
Yeah, we didn't quite see that on the instant replay just there. It was just out of shot. As we go back into the middle, live. 28 plays 24. Saints will be looking to consolidate third spot on this premiership ladder. Bowen wins out comfortably. And it lands in the hands, though, of Harry Butler. Butler with a kick over. He can find Bailey Edwards. He's got Hartlett. Went to go, ignored him. He's got Philo as well. But he's not going to go, and now he is going to go to him. So Philo is there. So Brody Philo. He's got Politis out the back if he wants to go out the back.
And inside.
And he's going to go a little bit longer to that, looking for Butcher. Off hands, comes to the back to Moo. Now it's been picked up by Gow. Gow with a left foot snap. Just slightly off. Moo was important in and under there. Watch how quick these hands are from Moo. He's read it beautifully. Bang. There it is there. Good handball. Back line. Paredes. Nate Paredes. Nightcliff backline trying to assert itself some dominance. Gets punched out by Grenfell in the forward. Nyhouse can't pick it up. Gets dispossessed on the way through. There's Dylan Lant just pushing through again. Nyhouse wraps him up from the ground. Lant just onto the boot. It's going to be in the hands of Wilson though. Wilson under pressure from Vallejo still manages to get a kick away. They're going to settle it down through Morris. Morris picks out the big ruckman Bowen. Bowen with a running handball is no good. It's got put pressure under Wilson. Bowen again, the big man. Now it's going to be in the left foot hands of Dylan Lant. It's going to fall short. Calder pointing at the point post, thinks it should be thrown in. No, it's a point being called.
Watch this one again. He's just... Could argue, but may have just bounced short of the post.
Yeah, I think probably benefit of the doubt of bounce short. Jenny Rowe was in a good position there, the goal umpire. They're still in the contest here. Morris couldn't quite get it. Paredes looking for Grenfell. Punched away from him. Ryan Nyhouse has had to do a mountain of work against much taller opponents. I mean, I'm sure he's used to it, but he's had to, second and third efforts have been outstanding. Grenfell and Bowen just hits the ground. Called up, bounces through, left foot on the line there, waiting for it was Nyhouse, goalkeeper style.
There's been a lot of those chances tonight where they've just happened to pop up in the goal square. As we watch this one again.
What about the break on this? Spinner would have been happy. Bang!
Oh, he's lucky. He could have turned an inch more and that would have been a goal. It did turn a fair bit.
Mind you, the Gabba wicket was that green, so it probably could have. Oh, Philo just got taken out agriculturally and will end up with a free kick. Hammond. It's going to be picked up by Politis though. They're going to run it out. The Tigers. He's all holding everywhere. Just let go. They're both holding. Moo in there. Wraps up his opponent long. Robinson trying to dive over the top. Kruiserberg is in there. Now they can run this out. The Saints. Comes to Lant. Lant steps back inside and then left foot pass looking for the big man Calder.
Picked him out well there.
Well, Calder's presented himself as he always does a lot tonight, but he's had to be in contested mark situations, and that's the first time he's ever really been able to be free. And if he does find a little bit of space, he's very, very difficult to stop. 3 points, the difference at the moment. He kicks this and Saints will go 3 points up as Calder comes back and leans into it, and the goal umpire never moved.
So good one for Calder. That's put them 3 points up. But we've had that score for both sides about 3 or 4 times now. That score's changed, with St Mary's leading now by 3 points.
And Calder there just takes an easy chest mark in the end. Well, I've seen Jackson Calder play a few times this year, and it's always been in the second half where he's managed to get his goals.
Yep.
And hasn't really scored in the first. If he's got one already in this first half, then that could prove to be a little bit ominous for the Tigers as we get further into the game, because he's always run into his own in the second half of the game.
Last time these guys met, there was only about 6 or 7 goals each. So this one here, 4 each, as we're coming towards the end of the second quarter, about halfway through the second quarter. Certainly a lot more open than the last time they met.
Aidan Robinson wins it out. It's going to be socked off the ground though by Hodges, and he's going to get pinged for in danger.
Yep.
It'll go against it'll go to Brodie Philo again. Philo earning his kicks.
Got a kick down the wing here if he's quick.
Huppets gives it over to Hartlett. Hartlett just goes on the lead, and again, good pass and mark. So Hammond, a centering kick. Butcher, target off his hands, can't quite get a hold of it. They're going to run it out. Hodges didn't quite get his hands to it. They might get away with it. Robinson putting the pressure on his younger opponent. Braxton Armack comes to help. Now it's a long kick from 50. Falling back was Butcher. Long is there. Jacob Long's going to get there and run it away. Standing still with a handball over the top. They're playing with it, the Green machine. This is dangerous. Comes back to Green. They might get out of trouble here through Hammond, and then Wilkinson under pressure. Well, he takes a strong mark in the end, contested against his opponent, Hammond. Now Wilkinson, inside corridor. Parnell can have a look and have a bounce. He's got time. He's had two. He could have three. If he wants to have a fourth, he could, and he does. Now he's at centre half forward. He's wobbly old kick looking for Jackson Calder. Well, he probably started to lactate by that stage.
Yeah, he probably could have taken a fifth bounce as well, but he was always going to try and get rid of it after the fourth.
Well, I reckon the fifth bounce would have been steadier so he could get his breath back. Calder again leading into that pocket. Had 2 metres on his opponent. Good kick from Parnell, and Tigers are in trouble again. Grenfell wraps up his opponent. Whistle stopped. Ball will be thrown up. Robinson against Braden Grenfell. Saints forward line just smashed away by Robinson. Comes to Brodie Philo, who just wants it out of there. Don't care how. Over the top was Moo. Moo hurried handball out. Politis had it cut off though by Parnell, and then on to Wilkinson. Wilkinson's kick is quick. Grenfell came out. Paredes with strong body to Musgrove. Musgrove's kick just slightly put off by the tackle. Hodges and Bellagio were there as the targets. Two of the St Mary's younger guns. Robinson can't get in front of Grenfell. Philo can't get away cleanly. Dylan Lamb just shrugs, then balks, then lines up at goal. But it's going to go to the left. Calder was there. And guiding it out of bounds, though, was Brown. And probably lucky so. Well, there's only 3 points the difference here.
For the lull in proceedings at the moment, though, it's quietened down a bit at the moment. It's been in this forward line for a fair while now for St Mary's.
Yeah, they've done well to bottle it in, and Nightcliff have done well. As Kobe McCarthy, the Tongala O'Dwyer medalist, took him on. Asking the question was Paredes, that didn't feel that he had any type of prior opportunity. And Calder could have laid a tackle and chose not to. Back live now. It comes to Philo via McCarthy. Butcher was the flyer. Now it's over the top. This is dangerous. There is absolutely no one inside the forward 50. It's a foot race. Parnell from Saints is going to lead it. He's pushed in the side by Bailey Edwards. Edwards is in there. They can't get it underneath. Jack Hammond can't. Still loose, waiting at the back there. Well, hip and shoulder there from Parnell. Still loose on the ground. Can they keep it in? Looked like it'd gone out of bounds on the full of Jacob Long, and it did.
Both sides were hoping that ball would go out, but it did come off his foot for out of bounds on the fall.
Politis goes inboard straight away, and he's got McCarthy. And McCarthy on the lead looks for Wilson, who gets it on the second go and then gets a shove for his troubles. No 50 is going to come out of that, though. And Wilson will go back with an opportunity here. Well, there's no point throwing any grass up in the air, Shauno. There is absolutely not a breath of fresh air around here, especially towards that airport end, as Sean Wilson comes in from 45 and kicks it off to the right.
He wanted that, he was aiming that right, and that's exactly where it went. I don't think it was going to come back on the breeze. He said there's no breeze here tonight at all. Very strange. Normally here at TIO there's a slight breeze to the airport end to right of screen, but tonight not a breath.
Parnell had a turn of foot then. Matty Green kicks it back in. And Saints got let off the hook there as Hillier. It's in the possession of Hillier. Gives it back to Matthew Green. Oh, sliding mark. They got away with it was Boyle. He plays on quickly, doesn't wait. They want it up that far end. Calder with body. Around the front there was Vallejo with a turn of pace onto Yaron. Two speedsters. Yaron, the big man Bowen couldn't get it cleanly. Neither could Dylan Lant. Now this is trouble. Vallejo winds, and he got pinged, young Vallejo. He tried to take him on, balked with a handball, didn't give it away. So it's in the hands of Morris. No, it's in the hands of Snelling onto Wines.
Just about to tick into time on here in the second quarter. 2 points the difference to St Mary's, which was the result the last time these two sides met in round 7. St Mary's 2-point winners in that one.
Politis trying to get it out, and comes around to his teammate there, and Gow. Gow's kick will bounce. It'll be cleaned up though by Stenning. Stenning will get 2 bites of the cherry and have a kick. Hunt. Again, Gow. Gow's kick goes inboard. It wasn't great, but didn't matter. It might get to Politis if he can keep pressure and keep moving forward. They're still trying to get it out. Hartlett got it out to Moo. Well, the Tigers still persevering. Bailey Edwards come off Braxton Armatt's shoulder. Hillier can't quite get clean possession, so he decides to soccer instead. It goes the bare minimum 15. Is in the hands of Smithson. He's just going to slow things down. We're into time on now, almost the 21-minute mark. Smithson goes across the face. Socket off the ground. The big man, Butcher, couldn't quite pick it up first time. Hartlett can though. This is danger. Comes to Wilson. Wilson's spills what he should have taken. Parnell wraps him up under pressure. Dragged to the ground is Hillier. And the ball is locked up. Yeah, so Wilson just spilling that. Clean take. Saints are in trouble. It's backed over the top by Grenfell. Hartlett, Yaron just with strength comes straight through. Then goes up looking for Calder. Nyhouse gets a fist on it. Quality defence. One-on-one. Well, probably one of the best fullbacks going around in the competition against one of the best full forwards going around in the competition right there. Intriguing battle.
Yep. And a big turn there before from Yaron on Hartlett. Gave him a bit of a knock. He shook that one off, but he's back up there.
Well, he just ran straight at it. Hartlett now back up and into it. And it's the big man Grenfell that's going to settle it down. So Grenfell just goes straight forward. Calder's there, so is Yaron. They work off each other, but it's punched out of bounds, and pretty much where it came from, it'll go back to and be thrown in again. 22.5 minutes gone here. There's just 2 points the difference, and that ends the first half.
4-6 to Nightcliff Tigers. St Mary's leading 4-8, so it's a 2-point lead here at TIO Stadium for round 15 action in the Men's Premier League. Nightcliff Tigers versus St Mary's. We'll be back shortly.
In fine form today, and that's another good kick from him. He's going to Shannon. Shannon gets a handball off and gets it back. Little 1-2 now has a shot on goal. Beautiful kick.
Nice.
Great running goal. Him was to the lead of Evans. Couldn't mark it. Sit up. Hooper picks it up, gets through a few, gets a handball out as he's tackled. Handball will come back. Wilson snaps on goal. Beats the fingertips of the defender and goes through. What a goal that was from Sean Wilson from full forward. Dunstan too busy deliberating with the umpire. He goes to full forward now. He had 2 to beat. Smith roving. What can he do? He's taken down, got a handball out. And goal from Southern Districts. Just lurking at full forward there was Sam McManus. He gets his first of the afternoon. He's unlucky there for Joe. Just found himself in the wrong position with the ball at the wrong time. Good kick from Wilson. It's gone long. It goes out the back. Can he get a boot to ball? He can. Instant reply from Nightcliff again. So they extend the lead again out to 10 points. Top. I think that was Hammond. He got a handball back inboard. Now running through is Politis. Politis runs onto it in space. It's being hunted down, kicks it inside 50. Ball bounces over the back. Tigers run into open goal. And is that
Shawnee Wilson?
He's kicked his second for the day. He can't take it. He kicks it to Brody Philo. He couldn't take the mark, but he rolls around, almost held without it, plays for it. Umpire takes it, pays advantage, and that's a goal to Nightcliff. They're really putting a bit of a buffer on. It's gone to Ryan Moo. Sorry, not Ryan Moo, that's Daniel Quinn.
Daniel caught 4 to Nightcliff's 5 goals, 8.
It's a 28-point, extension or addition to the margin. It's another shot on goal from that tight pocket. I think it's Mentha. He'll play on and snap. A few more words of encouragement from the crowd. That one another behind, or is it a goal?
They worked that time.
It's a goal. So maybe that's the trick. Go to snap from that angle.
Wing to Mitchell, who spilt the mark but had time to recover. Kicks inside 50. Gets past everyone there. Stafford just waiting at the back, falls into his lap, runs around, kicks it on the outside of the boot this time, and he's got his third grey out of the 3 goals that Buffaloes have kicked. Orlando Turner, but not much closer to goal, and there's still a couple of kicks away as Turner goes long inside 50 now. Big leap, but Eddie Betts at the back of the pack. So he's only about 20 metres out, no problem whatsoever, straight through the middle. So Eddie's on the board for the first time tonight, and a much-needed goal by Palmerston as we approach quarter-time grey. And Buffaloes tidy up at the back and bring it out to the near side, but there's plenty of Palmerston jumpers out here as Big Pedersen presents himself and takes that intercept mark in front of Bolch.
But I think he's the key to Palmerston making a real impression.
Kicks going all the way to the line and just gets over. That's a great goal. And on the left, hooks it in towards the goal square. Pedersen dropped what he should have taken. The hand pass comes out to Jared Stokes. He floats it up. It's not going to score, I don't think. A Bolch comes in over the top, claims the mark, and it's been paid.
Well, I'll show that, Davies, that I can play. A very good mark.
So kicks on the way, no problem at all. And Darwin Buffaloes with the first goal of the quarter. Across the back there, gets the hand pass forward, but another headband there. Pendlebury, his numbers changed for those viewing on the screen, but the ball comes out to Josiah Farrer here. He has a shot for goal. It's going all the way. I think he's floated it through. He has just had enough on it. That up. The big kick comes back in, and Mark Spilt back here, and yes, he's a kick into the goal square. Bolch is there again, and he's got 2 for the quarter. So just a bit untidy by Palmerston down there. Ran themselves into trouble, and Darwin pounced. And Thomas Bolch got on the end of it for his second goal for the quarter. He's had a couple of bounces now. A third bounce all the way around that outer side. Works down to half forward. Gets the kick inside forward. 50 now. And out on the lead was Betts. And the umpires had judged that he was being held in the marking contest.
At Carlton and Adelaide, so
probably practiced it a bit more than plenty of the others, and no problem whatsoever. And Eddie gets himself on the board for his second goal, and Stafford dropped the mark out there, but Bowles, his teammate, swoops on it and now kicks long down inside forward 50. Bolch in the marking contest. The ball's punched forward. Jared Stokes swoops on it now, kicks towards goal, and he's a beautiful finisher. And Jared Stokes, if he didn't have the 3 goals.
Got a lot of mates. Tom Gaydon for point, gets it across, dropped what he should have taken, picked up and a tackle taken, play on called the umpire, correctly so, wouldn't have been taken much longer because he was tackled, picked up, I reckon that was Tottenham, kicks it inside forward and there's the first goal, and the first goal he scored 3 minutes 33 seconds into the second term.
Shane Thorne getting the goal, the first one. Was the first one there.
Braden McLean. Point, working hard, inside forward 50. Here's their big chance, off the side of the boot, and they've got it. They've finally got a goal, and that was Silva Yusuf, a goal to Point, and that puts them back in the game. Not noted goal kicker, 55 metres from goal, man on the mark, will have to kick from about 60, gives it plenty, makes the square, Simpson down there, ball on the ground, kicked off the ground, and well done. That was Brodie Newman. We normally see him at centre half back. He's actually kicked a goal off the ground. That was a gift. Trouble for Wanderers. McLean, here's the call. Does it nicely. Handballs to Penrith. Penrith kicks the goal. That was just a comedy of errors by the defence of Wanderers, and Ethan Penrith has kicked a goal. Toss it up. Jones grabs the ball out of the ruck. Simpson finishes up with it. Loses possession. Running around onto the right boot. And a goal. Did you pick that player up? Only as far as a Point defender, and that's Henry Tregowath. Tregowath goes inside 50, can't take the mark, ball on the ground, in dispute, Silva Yusuf kicks the goal. That is the nail in the coffin, Silva Yusuf.
It's his second goal. We thought he'd got another one earlier on, but it was touched off the boot, but he's now got 2 goals for the game.
Because Point just move around and use handball very, very well. D'Souza, been a good player, but missed the mark. Ball on the ground, in dispute, picked up Point, kick on goal. Jones has got another one for the team. Andrew Jones, he becomes a multiple goal scorer. Really good umpiring again. We've praised the umpires, and that was another good one.
Smother.
But kicked into the man on the mark, which is an absolute sin. Smith goes forward, gets it out in the Penrith direction. Penrith runs his full measure, steadies, kicks on goal, and nails it.
Yep. Been a good player for him tonight, Penrith. They've given him so much room. He's got 3 goals now.
Far out to score. Nice kick. Got to have someone to take a mark. Simpson can't get Cabillo front and square, and he gets the goal. That's Keelan Fijo. Keelan Fijo has a goal. Well done to him.
Welcome back to the AFL-NT's coverage of the 22-23 TIO NTFL season here from TIO Stadium in Larrakia Country. Round 15 action in the Men's Premier League competition tonight. Nightcliff Tigers taking on St Mary's, and exactly as the same as the last time they met. St Mary's are leading by 2 points, which is what they came away with the last time. It's been a tight contest all night, 3-point swapping sides either way. My name is Nick Danks. My commentary partner this evening is Ashley Manakaris, and as I said, a tight contest, 4 goals each coming into half-time.
Yeah, there hasn't been much in this. Most of the goals have actually come from either mistakes or turnovers, to be honest with you, Nick. Hasn't been the cleanest football, but that could have a lot to do with the fact that there's a fair bit of pressure out there on the ball carrier, and you've got two sides that are reasonably physical in nature, and so that combined with some slippery conditions that we saw at the start of the game today, in terms of it's rained a fair bit here at TIO Stadium this afternoon, has probably made that a little bit slipperier. But yeah, at this stage it is anybody's game. The score just reflecting how tight it is. But I think Saints might be the ones to watch in this second half. Jackson Calder got on the end of some good kicks and also slotted one through. So we'll see how they go as we go back in the middle. Braxton Armat against Jackson Bowen as they've gone tonight. Coming out of there was Hartlett with quick hands, being one of Nightcliff's better players tonight. Hamish Hartlett, though, only goes as far as Armat, and then Paredes combined for St Mary's. Here they go from a long way out is Boyle. Puts it on the boot. He's put it out of bounds on the full. And that's a missed opportunity, potentially. Jay Boyle's already got 1 goal for the Green Machine.
Been a bit like that all night with the guys that just blaze away. As you said earlier, a couple of lucky goals from each team earlier in the match, but it's sort of in this stalemate now for a while.
It's Nyhouse, probably been the best defender out there. Just puts it over the top in a well-weighted kick to Nathan Brown. 200 games plus, Nathan Brown. Will get player life membership this year, you would think, in the NTFL. He just puts it straight up and under. Braxton Armat's under there. It's going to be punched away. Moo got dragged down. Now it comes to Politis. Free kick's been found, dumped after the ball. Out of zone support free kick. And suspect that it's going to go to St Mary's, but not sure who. Yeah, looks like Valagio's going to be the recipient.
Yeah, I think he pinged him for a rugby league handball there. He flicked that out.
Fair enough. Right on the spot. Good vision of it. Valagio. St Mary's younger gun sends it up looking for Grenfell. Lant picked it up and just got wrapped up.
Got him a little high as well, and so St Mary's first opportunity.
So Dylan Lant hasn't been as dominant as we're used to him in the last couple of weeks, I wouldn't have thought, Nick, tonight. But he's the type of player that if he steps up in the second half, he's going to turn things around for St Mary's.
Here's his first opportunity. Already kicked 1 tonight, lining up for his second.
He's ignored the lead there.
Not any breeze at all, so this should go dead straight if he hits it right.
Dylan Lant, from a long way out, hooks it right and through for a point.
Push the lead back to that 3-point margin where it's bounced around all night with Nightcliff either up front or in St Mary's up front by 3 points. I think it's swapped about 4 or 5 times.
Nyhouse goes out wide and finds Wines on that far side. Wines goes inboard.
There's a fair few bodies out here on this grandstand wing for the Tigers.
Yeah, Jack Hammond finds Wines again. Just maintaining possession. Brown sliding, drops what he should have taken. Now he's got to play on quickly. Yaron, though, is going to end up with it. So Nicky Yaron will just put it over the top to the running Jackson Calder. Danger here. Brown comes in to put pressure on.
Just didn't bounce right then for Calder. It was a good idea by Nicky Yaron. He had him running through.
And that was probably a good thing that it didn't bounce right for Brown. But he did, and it was put forward. It was clever by Yaron, as you were saying. And Calder could have run on that, and that would have been an interesting moment. Grenfell punched away though by Bowen. In there is Hillier with a long handball back. Jacob Long got taken out of the contest. And then Hillier just came in They're still in this, Saints. Braxton Armat been pretty good tonight. Chipped over the top, though. It comes to the hands of Dylan Lant. Lant from 35 metres out. Helicopter kick in through for a point. Well, he got good service, good handball there out of Ling. Let's just watch this handball. There's Ling. Ling just a little pass over to Lant, and Lant just went, and from about 35, you know, he'd normally put them away. Ryan Nighthouse out to centre wing, finds Brody Philo. Philo's another one that could really influence the outcome of this game. Gives it over the top to Politis. Is it Politis? No. Bailey Edwards. Edwards with a little chip over. Robinson was there. Getting back though was Ling. Oh, Hartlett. He can run around. Gives it off to Huppets. Running straight into trouble there was Butcher. And then Butcher got held after disposal, and Butcher will get a free kick. Wilkinson can't believe it.
He did get rid of the ball quickly, that Wilkinson did, and I think did any... Butcher grabbed him. Butcher got grabbed. He just couldn't let go in time for the umpire.
No, he committed to the tackle. He committed to the tackle, Nick, and he just got dragged down in the process. Wilkinson dragged down Butcher in the process. So Butcher has a chance here for the Tigers to reclaim the lead, and it doesn't. It goes off to the right. So back to a 3-point margin. It was 2 points at half time. Low scoring arm wrestle game. Green, just a big kick out. Wow. No one got any hands on it. It's gone out of bounds. I mean, they've gained some territory. That was Matty Green with a big kick out. Gained some territory. No one could get a hand on it. Bowen takes front position. Hartlett runs straight into the tackle of Smithson.
Yeah, didn't have much chance to get rid of that. As soon as he got hold of the ball, he was tackled. Good decision by the umpire.
Ball just drops around Wilson. Can't get a hold of it. Hurried kick around the corner. It was Gow. Parnell dragged without it. Jacob Long slung by Politis. Free kick, though, is going to go to Parnell. He's told to hurry up and get a move on. Running over the mark, though, before it was called play on, is now cost the Tigers a 50-metre penalty. They're right on it. They ought to be.
He did that. The umpire was about 1.5 metres from him when he did that. He was always going to get big.
He hadn't called. Yeah. He hadn't called play on. What he had done was ask the player to get a move on. Now there's the big long kick from Lamb. At the back was Calder cleverly waiting. Now he's got a swing around right foot kick at goal. Bounces, but to the left.
Stretches the lead out to 4 points.
Well, he was just stayed on the ground here. Watch what he does. He just stays back, and it comes out the back. He had Yaron there. He could have used him, but momentum he thought might be able to get him to swing that around. Nighthouse into Kobe McCarthy. McCarthy's just asking for someone to move for him, and that someone is Huppets. Huppets goes out wide. Oh, wrapped up beautifully, chased down there by Vallejo, and he's going to be rewarded with a free kick.
No one talked to him, then let him know what's going on.
No. Now they can set it back up for themselves. It's in the hands of Liam Hunt. Now it comes to... He thought about going for a second, and then Stenning decided he wasn't. Now he's looking for anybody. Calder again. Just waited at the back there. He had Grenfell in front, who was a target.
Eight minutes gone in this quarter. We haven't had a goal yet. Still 4-point lead to St Mary's. It was 2 points at half time.
Robinson versus Grenfell. One out by Grenfell. Going to try and get out of there. Nighthouse has got a few to beat. And again, the ball out of bounds. It's been an interesting arm wrestle, Nick. And even though the score's reflective, I don't know, I just think Saints just look a little bit better at this stage.
Yeah, they've had a couple of moments in this quarter. This could be an opportunity here. It's not going to come back enough. Takes the lead out to 5 points, though.
No, that was Smithson. Just reads it better out of everyone. Look, he's just standing there. Now it comes out to him. He just shrugs one off and then decides to have Bugs's opponent off. And again, Ryan looks further upfield. As they call him to play on, and he gets a move on. Robinson hasn't punched away from him. And that's Hunt's just barreled over the line.
So an accurate kicker from St Mary's. They're still in front, but the last time these met, Nightcliff got 7 goals, 18. And at the moment, they've got 10. 12 points, so 4-12 at the moment for St Mary's.
Pelagio, handball out. Hodges, hurried handball as well. Armat. Sperry on to try and hold it up. I don't really want it going anywhere, Nightcliff, until they can get clean possession and open it up and they can spread. But St Mary's in the better field position. Yeah, difficult here. Hunt just tried to get it. Hodges got it, but it was a bit of an up and under kick under pressure. Now it's punched away. Handball over the top was Ling.
We're coming up to the 11th minute mark of the third quarter. No goals in this quarter yet from either side. 4 goals each for the match. So 4 goals 7 to 4 goals 12.
Calder has positioned himself in the ruck here. Robinson took front position though. They're going to get it out. Moo, just let it go over the top. Now he's going to get it back. He gives it off to Hartlett. Hartlett, his bouncing ball. It's a foot race. It's a foot race. Leading it in there for the Tigers was Morris. They might get out of this. Morris has maintained. He's had to get 1 on 3. Moo's come in there to assist. Wrapped up in the tackle and holding the ball was Hartlett, who came all the way down. It was a tremendous tackle by Green.
That's twice now that we've seen the Tigers in a foot race back there with nobody coming from their forward line, all having to run back over the top, and they lost both of them.
Parnell, little left foot up and under. Lant, balks, then handballs. He's got the running Jacob Long. Long from outside 50 has got his teammate. Is that Boyle coming through off the top of his knee? No, it's going to be an all clear, I would think.
No, he's paid.
Hang on, they're asking the question. Be Gallagher. If it's a goal, it's Gallagher's, and an all clear has been given. So Jack Gallagher gets a sliding goal.
So another one of the goals tonight where they've just been scrappy, for want of a better word. Some of them are good roving goals, but that one definitely in the highlight scrappy. As we watch it in the replay, did it come off the top of his knee or something?
Well, let's just watch it here. It's bouncing in the square. We might just see if we can go back a step on that and see if we can just replay it a little bit further here. Oh, yeah, no, it's come off below the knee.
Yeah.
Just come off his shin.
Yep.
Thanks to our technical crew here at TIO Stadium for being able to do that. That's top quality.
Well done, guys.
Well done, thank you. Got to see how good that was, but he just got that just below the knee. So Gallagher gets on the board for the Green Machine. So the third quarter continuing to be an arm wrestle.
So 11 points now, one of the biggest leads of the night St Mary's have got. Tigers wouldn't want to let them get the next one. I know we're only 30 minutes into the third quarter. It's been that type of game tonight.
No, as Wines gets knocked over for his troubles on the kick. Here they come. McCarthy, right foot up forward. Oh, couldn't quite get a hold of it. Was the big man Butcher diving in there. Comes out to Hartlett, to Bailey Edwards on the ground on the kick. No, it's going to bounce through for a point.
So 10-point lead to St Mary's, 13 coming up to the 14 minutes mark of the third quarter.
Long just plays on. Comes to his teammate Ling. Ling got caught, gave it off to his other teammate, who was Hillier, who got caught, wrapped up by Mood. Look at that. Now, underestimate Ryan Mood's pace. Brody Philo from outside 50 lines it up for the big sticks, and I think he's put it through.
They needed that one, the Tigers.
We've seen him do that a few times in the last few years, and if ever the Tigers wanted him to do it, it was now.
Put it back to 4 points for St Mary's. It was 2 points at half-time. That was a big one just on the edge of the 50. He's gone for it, liked it all the way.
Big man Butcher just going, thank you. Thank you, I didn't want to have to go back and take that kick. That was a great kick. Well, again, we've gone back to a 4-point margin, and there is really... Nightcliff now need to win this out of the middle to see if they can get another goal on the board, just to keep it and keep everyone. Get some momentum going. That's probably the most important thing. Can they get some momentum going?
I think the first side that gets momentum in this game is going to win it, because at the moment it's been one of those strong arm wrestles in the middle.
They've matched each other for most of the night. It's been a battle of the defensive sixes. Bowen against Grenfell got it. Dragged off with McCarthy, let go. Paredes, I think, got the kick away. Or taken high. Now there's going to be a little bit of push and shove as they get in there. Umpires want to get in and sort that out quickly. There's no need for it. Just get the ball moving. They sorted that out quickly. A little bit of feeling come in as Wines. Was Lant not happy by the treatment that he got in that? He's getting a little bit frustrated. There's Edwards. Edwards is looking. Doesn't have a lot. He's got Huppets there if he wants. He's going to ignore him. He's going to kick up to the two big men. Robinson, Bowen, Hartlett was there. Yeah, I don't think Dylan Lant was too happy about that.
No, I don't think he was either. There's a bit of history, of course, between these two sides. A drawn grand final a few years ago, and they both don't really like each other that much.
It's a friendly football rivalry, best way to describe it. Of course, no Cam Islet tonight for Nightcliff. He's away. Free kick's been found. It's been a push off the ball. Who's it going to go to? It's going to go to Paredes, Nathan Paredes. And up it's being told to stand the mark. Paredes just bombs it. It's a wobbly old kick. Calder came down. He gets one hand on it. Can't quite get control of it though to bring it down. And the play will be stopped and balled up again. Calder just looking back there asking the question. He certainly had a good crack at it. Grenfell just with big body just held his opponent out. Now it's going to be an up and under. Yaron versus Brown. Yaron on his feet, hands back. Brown though, composed. All the composure for a 200-game player. Clears it out. Bailey Edwards in a foot race, leading it, sockers it over the top. Here we go. The Tigers, can they put some more scoreboard pressure on? Overrunning it, stepping back inside, stripped. He's a tackle by Long, and he's been done. He got stripped by Jacob Long, and has been done for holding the ball. Long will be the recipient of the free kick. It's going to go sideways.
Got him there.
No, they've just gone over the top. Turnover right here. Oh. Robinson couldn't get it and keep it in. Neither could Hammond.
4-point lead to St Mary's at the moment. Nightcliff's forward zone.
Yeah, Nightcliff's in a pretty good position here. Either to lock it in, maybe even get a score on the board. Both ruckmen hugging. Brody Philo, danger man. looking to asking the question about being caught without it, and ignored, and the ball will be thrown in again, I think right around that 50-metre mark, just a bit in. Both ruckman. Grenfell, Bowen goes over the top of both of them. Bowen has his kick smothered.
And again smothered by Nightcliff.
Hammond had his kick smothered. Then eventually it comes out through Boyle. Oh, stepping inside there was Smithson. Butcher's all the way back on centre wing. Brown has come up, wrapped up though by Yarran. 19 and a half minutes ago, Yarran's going to get a free kick for being held without possession.
This won't be a long quarter. They've only had 2 goals, 1 each so far in this quarter.
So Brock Land, the youngest of the 3 Land brothers, goes up looking for his teammate Calder, and Calder marks it on that far side. Plays on. He's going to go in short. It's going to bounce though before it gets to Hodges. Land sets himself. He got 2 bites at it. Touch play on is the call. Huppert's putting him under pressure. Not happy is Land. Seriously not happy is Land. Asking the question. But I suspect that Huppert's got a punch on the ball as it bounced up.
Yeah, I think he did. He's had a frustrating 5 minutes, Land has.
Yeah, not happy. Bowen. Hands and knees. The Tigers desperate to get it out. Philo, handball over the top. No one can get clear ball away. Politis just puts it on the boot. Vallegio is going to win the race to the ball. He's up against Wilson, who's another speedster. Oh, Hillier with a tackle, and a holding the ball has been paid. Wow, it was a little bit hot. But I've got to say to you, had the ball gone out of bounds, Hillier might have had a problem with deliberate out of bounds from there.
Yeah, I think so too. I thought that's what he was
regardless,
for early.
I thought that's what he was looking at calling him for, but it's okay.
Oh.
And the turnover there, wasted possession from Hammond.
But the football gods didn't agree with him, so he's turned it around with that.
As Smithson's been told to play on. Off hands. Diving on the back. There's got to be a free kick in there somewhere. No.
We're well into time on 4.
Wines is going, hang on a second, the only thing you didn't have on me then was a saddle.
Yeah, 4 points up. We're well into time on. This will not be a long quarter.
No. Wines. And again, they'll throw it up.
Tigers won't want St Mary's to get a goal here this late in this 3rd quarter.
Calder just taps it down. Where are the small St Mary's runners? Where's Yarran? He's there. Couldn't get his hand on the ball. Another opportunity comes. It's punched away. Oh, they just got to come through. Taken high. Let go. Play on. And the siren sounds. Will let off the hook there, the Tigers. Desperate defence to end the 3rd quarter.
Nightcliff Tigers 5 goals, 8-38. St Mary's 5-12-42. 4-point lead to St Mary's at the end of the 3rd quarter. We'll be back with you shortly.
TIO Stadium. To the left of your radio they go.
Wow, what a goal to start the game.
Beautiful. Goes for home and has nailed an absolute ripsaw. From the pocket, and he's kicked an absolute ripper.
Welcome back to AFL NT's coverage of the 22-23 TIO NTFL season here from TIO Stadium in Darwin. Round 15 action in the Men's Premier League. The Tigers taking on St Mary's. It's been an arm wrestle all night. We're about to go into the final quarter. 5 goals 12, St Mary's 42 to 5 goals 8-38. It's been a 3-point difference on and off all night. This is going to be a close one. What do you reckon, Ash?
Well, if Nightcliff win this, then they will pretty much have secured the 5th spot, you would think, going into the finals, because they've got a reasonably good run home. But we'll see what happens as Grenfell wins it out and puts it straight on the boot and sends it up to centre half forward, where Jackson Calder on the lead immediately gets it and then looks further out to that right forward pocket for a leading teammate. That teammate is Smithson. Smithson brings it back inboard. It's going to bounce, comes to Calder. Calder with a left foot snap at goal, misses everything. And will go out of bounds and bounce towards the Michael Long centre. And we just watch there.
And that's been pretty much a capsule of tonight.
It has for Jackson Calder. Brody Philo has ended up with it after the restart. Kick to him. Now he's going to kick up the line. Bowen the ruckman is his target. Moo is in there, Ryan Moo. And couldn't quite get a hold of that. Just a bouncy ball.
Well, quiet night tonight, Ryan Moo. I think it's only the second time I've heard you call him, so...
Oh, he's had a few... No, he hasn't been too bad tonight. He certainly played a link roll up forward with a few good quick handballs. Hasn't been as dominant as we've probably become too used to. And as the ruck contest, Grenfell positioned himself to earn the free kick. Now it's going to go in the Calder direction. Jumped over was Smithson, and the ball has gone out of bounds and will be thrown in. So St Mary's will be happy while the play is in that forward area of the ground. Now that was Smithson over the top. Will be very happy while the ball is in that forward area of the ground, because it means they're not having to defend. Nyhouse just chops it out of the air and McCarthy will get it. So Kobe McCarthy over to Brody Philo. Philo with a big kick, looking for Robinson. No one's really picked it up. Bailey Edwards can run onto this. There is no one inside the 50. Edwards runs his full distance, tries to skim it through and goes to the left, but he's been pulled up for running too far.
Yeah.
He ran his full quota.
Yeah, I think he knew as soon as he kicked it that he was gone, because he didn't. He just went. He looked over to the umpire and went, "Yep, I knew it."
Well, about everyone in the grandstand asked the question. We're back live. Goes over the top. Lant wasn't happy towards the end of that third quarter. He's been getting a lot of attention, as he does every week. So Dylan Lant looking for Calder. Jackson Calder. Oh, just got a rip a little bit high there. Was Hunt. Let go though. Oh, smothered down there by Musgrove. Gutsy. Diving on it was Butler. And Calder just came out to take that. And again, we see a restart. We've got ourselves a bit of a game here. Nothing in this. Just 4 points. Grenfell. Kieran Parnell can't get it first time. His handball along the ground. Gee, it was close. We're going to come back in. Grenfell got front position. Moo, though, sharked it. There's a wrestle on the ground here. McCarthy got thrown to the ground. Dylan Lant was in there too. We'll see who can get the free kick. It's gone against McCarthy and he's not having it. It's gone to Dylan Lant.
Dylan Lant's had one of those nights where he's didn't want to go his way and he's just got it.
He sends it up. Back inside the forward 50-odd. Came down. Paredes, I thought, was in there. Has a free kick been found? And it has, I reckon. No, it's going to be balled up.
Yeah, I think he put his head down into that one. There wasn't much that the Nightcliff player could do. He put his head
took it down. As Bowen just grabbed it out of the air and booted it straight away. Grenfell just took out Hartlett on the way through. Then loose on the ground, it was Kruiserberger. And his kick, though, has been marked by Bowen. So the big man, Bowen. His kick across goal. Smithson got on it there. Smithson with the handball. Comes over to Boyle. Then back to Smithson. And through for a point.
So the clock on our score, it's about 4 minutes behind, so it's we're coming up 5 minutes.
We get that restarted. Waiting on Nyhouse. He plays on. Punched away. It's going to bounce in the middle. Here go the Tigers. Wines couldn't get a hold of it straight away. Politis. Was he interfered in the marking contest? I think he was. So Politis is going to get a kick here. So the Tigers could set themselves up. They're in the middle of the ground. Politis with a kick. He's going to bounce. Wilson just let it go through. Hartlett can get it on the first bounce. He slides over, though. He can't get it. Now it comes out through Edwards. Then back. Trying to pick up that number there. I think it was Gow.
And it's hit the point post.
Hit the point post and will be thrown in.
That's the best push forward the Tigers have had in this quarter. They seriously need to.
As we come back. Grenfell just grabbed it out of the air and then he's just hurled it straight out to centre wing. Calder's come all the way down looking for a grab. Couldn't. It's landed in the hand of Hillier. Hillier can just put it out in front of his teammates. Bouncing ball. That was Smithson, burrowed under. Nyhouse, though, equal to it. It's going to wait for it the up and under. Robinson just took his Tiger teammate out. They're both a bit slow to get up. They've got an overlap here if they wanted the green machine. Calder's dropped all the way back into that full forward area. It's Wines is there. Yaron is there. Wines can't get it out. Brown, he drags it back in. Dangerous time for the Tigers. And he's got away with it. He dragged it back in there, Wines.
Yeah, he was lucky there. One of the Tigers players have both just glided there. One of them's come off. He's just sitting down the bench. He's quite fine. The other guy's kept on playing, so it's good news for the Tigers.
Off the head of Braith Hodges there. Lant tries to spin out of trouble and is dispossessed as a consequence. And again, he's thrown in. Got stripped of the ball there.
5-point lead to St Mary's.
So there's actually nearly 8 minutes gone here at TIO Stadium in the final term.
And no goal scored for either side yet. Only one each in the second half.
5 points the margin. It's going to be a challenge. He took him on and lost. Did Boyle. The Tigers will come out of it. Nyhouse went to go. In fact, it was Wines. Wines now can go across to Nyhouse. So Ryan Nyhouse has a bounce. And they again looking further upfield. Has he got an option? No. We're going to have to go long. It's all Saints up there, front position. Mark's been paid. So Brockland stabs at the kick. Not a great kick. Gone out of bounds on the full. Not really where you wanted it turned over.
It's been one of those days that just either side here could get a couple in a row and it'll all be over.
Well, the next score will make it interesting. Nightcliff can score, it's game on. Oh, the lead there. Straight into trouble. Quick handball. Theory was right. Execution in traffic, not so good. They can run it out. Hodges tries to get it. Gives it over to Jacob Long. Over to Paredes. Nate Paredes again over the top. That's Dylan Lant. Lant looking for Calder. It just bounces off his hands and goes out of bounds. He's been under pressure most of the night. Full credit to Ben Vile. He's kept him in the. He's kept him honest tonight, Ben. And if it wasn't Ben Vile doing the work, then it was certainly Ryan Nyhouse.
5 goals 8 to 5 goals 13. 5-point lead to St Mary's.
Philo, handball. Over the top. Hurried kick from Lant in the goal square. Nyhouse is equal to it though. Smithson couldn't do much about that.
Played over 10 minutes this quarter. It's probably spent about 8.5 minutes in this forward line for St Mary's, but they just haven't been able to pinch a goal to give themselves that breathing space.
The Tigers' defence have been called upon tonight and they've responded.
There's not a single player the other side half of the ground at the moment. Everyone's just crossed over the halfway line. So if the Tigers come out, they're going to have to run again forward.
Rock Lant there just lets it go over his head. Robinson can't get clean possession. Politis just backs himself, tries to run through. Robinson with hip and shoulder on Brock Lant. Diving on there. And that's the thing, if there's a kick over the top, then it's going to have to be a race to the ball because everyone is up.
Yep, we've seen that 3 times tonight.
One out by Butcher. Now they're going to go long and deep in there, courtesy of Gallagher. Oh, Calder with a fingertipper. Has taken a great mark.
Great mark there. That could be.
And just watch this. Gallagher with the... No, we only got one portion of that. We got the Gallagher kick. Here we go. He might get a bit more in a second.
Calder's lining up for his 2nd goal tonight. He'll only be the 2nd multiple goal scorer with Bailey Edwards getting 2 earlier for the Tigers.
Well, if he can convert this, and there's no reason he can't, he's directly in front, then suddenly it's gone from 5 points to 11.
The biggest scorer of the night, biggest lead of the night so far has been the 11 points. So as we said earlier last time we got to this point, Nightcliff must get the next goal. And they don't have much time left, you wouldn't think.
No, the clock's showing 12 minutes on the scoreboard, showing 12.5 minutes here at TIO. So 11 points the margin. Calder's got 2. And you want him scoring goals at this end of the game in a tight one.
With a couple of games already played here tonight, the Southern Districts defeated the Tiwi Bombers by 89 points with the game called off the end of the 3rd quarter with Lightning, and then Pike defeated the Buffs in a tight game. 18 points in the end. Pike got up, but they played well all night. And this one here, 11 points to St Mary's, a really crucial game for the Tigers.
Butcher, in order to get something sparked for the Tigers, has gone into the middle. He's had a quiet one otherwise. Loose on the ground. McCarthy, this is dangerous. Comes to Wilson from 40 out. He goes into the square. Bowen dropping back. But the ball has gone through for a point. Matty Green was there to tie things up for the St Mary's side. And they have a chance again. Saints can run it out through Green. He goes one way and then wants to go to Wilkinson and then decides to keep going the way he was running. And with a great footpath, he picks out the youngster Hodges. Hodges across to his teammate Long, Jacob Long. Over the top, though, of Xavier Villagio. Harry Butler's in there. Wilson again. So Shawnee Wilson. Dancing through was Bailey Edwards. Harry Butler gets it with a bit of time. Comes looking for Ryan Moo. It's picked up, though, by Hammond. Hammond with a short pass. Comes to Hartlett. Hamish Hartlett steadies her. Steadier. Has he got that? Yes, he has. And we are back to a 5-point margin. And there is still plenty of time left on this clock as we've gone 14 minutes. Hammond just very, very casually over to Hartlett. Hartlett just showing all the composure you like.
Yep, 193 AFL games there. You could see that he was just going to take his time and pop that over. That's exactly what he did, and that's what the Tigers needed. Still 5 points down, though, with, would say, about 4 or 5 minutes left to play. Just over 5 minutes left to play.
Well, what have we got there on the clock? Is that 16 minutes? Yeah, 16 and a half minutes. Hasn't been a lot of goals scored, so they'll get into time on by a minute or two, but that'll be about it.
That was only the second goal of the quarter, and we've only had those in about the last minute at either end. So important now for the Tigers to win this one out of the middle.
They do. Butcher, again, beaten though by Grenfell. It's going to come into the hands of Philo over the top. Hurried kick though. It's going to bounce. They can't afford to wait for it. Someone's got to come through, and they have. It comes to Hartlett again. Hartlett's hands quick to Robinson. Out the back, someone's got to have a look. Hurried kick. Parnell is there for St Mary's, the steadier. And he's taken a great mark under pressure. Robinson. The Tigers just looks on. Cruiserberger now gets it. It's going to bounce. Yaron with speed. Under pressure from Brown. And Nyhouse just runs it away. Can they get out of this trouble? Snelling. Philo is under pressure from the youngster Villagio. The bullet-like pass, he finds Wilson in the middle of the ground. Wilson doesn't have a huge number of options, but he's got Bailey Edwards. Edwards just took a mark, took his eye, but then runs again his full quota, puts it into the goal square, falling back. Oh, that's a goal! That has got to be one of the great contenders for goal of the year. We'll just wait and see on replay, but that will be one of the great goals of the year. And it's Bailey Edwards again. He ran his full quota. It bounces. Look at that. That's exceptional.
And that's put the Tigers in front by 2 points.
Take a bow, Lachlan Huppets. So suddenly the Tigers, having trailed, now lead by 2 points.
And that was only the third goal of the quarter. We're coming into 16 and a half minutes, just over 16 and a half minutes. So probably 3 or 4 minutes left to go. And the Tigers hit the front for the first time in about half a game.
Oh, danger here from Dylan Land as he comes out of the middle and goes up forward. It's punched away though by the Nightcliff defenders as Villagio can't get it. They clear it out. Now there's space. Robinson, he's going to have to work. Is Parnell going to beat everyone there? No, Politis is there to help out. Robinson gives a handball over the top. He's got the running jack, Hammond. Hammond, hurried kick in, goes in, ball to the middle there. Wilkinson's there under pressure. It's all the Tigers. Edwards picks it up, left foot, and it's grabbed out of the air. Can you believe that? By the defence standing. To the defender standing.
Edwards didn't even see him.
No.
Oh, he was chance though.
And it's come back to Bowen. Let's watch this if we can. Edwards again. Stenning gets it.
It was a goal all the way there.
You wouldn't read about that. That would have had 6-pointer written all over it when it left his boot. But anyway, it's come back. We're back live here at TIO Stadium, and Bowen is the one that is going to have a shot at goal for the Nightcliff Tigers. Can 2 points become 8?
No.
And no, it can't. It can't become anything, actually. It's gone out of bounds on the full.
That's twice he's kicked like that. He's just not running through the ball. He just stabbed at it, and it was only ever going to end up in one spot.
Yeah. Well, probably a few of the Nightcliff fans were looking for him to handball off. As they come out, St Mary's, Calder all the way down, punched away. There's a new lease of life in the Tigers as it comes out to Huppets. Kicked one of the great goals you will see this season, 2023. Comes over the top, McCarthy, Paredes. Paredes gets it, just clears it over the back. Brown, though, is going to be first there for the Tigers. Now it comes back to Brown. Yaron worries him out of the football. He gets dragged down without the ball. Play on is the call. Harry Butler gets taken. Knocked over. Just charging through. Bodies on the line. We haven't quite reached time on yet. We've still got a minute. We're still a minute away from time on.
The umpire put his whistle away there for a few seconds. Let that one run, but it just wasn't ever going to come out.
Robinson got burrowed into by his own player as Ryan Moo just kicks it to Hartlett. Politis is running on. He can take a short kick if he wanted. He's got 3 options inboard. McCarthy's one, but Hartlett just wants to go over the top. Politis got fingertips on it. Handball out. He's going to get wrapped up by Wilkinson. Well, that's okay as far as everyone's concerned because the ball can be thrown in. If you're a Nightcliff Tigers forward, you'd be happy with that. And if you're a St Mary's defender, you'd be happy with that. Well, it's a real nail-biter here. Only 2 points in this. Grenfell, fingers on it. Hartlett on his knees. Can't get it away. Harpert, everyone's asking the question. No one's chasing the ball.
We've just come into time on. There won't be a long one because 3 goals only in the quarter. And currently, Nightcliff leading by 2 points, which was the result the other way round the last time these two sides met in round 7.
Nightcliff won't just get the 4 points. You'd think they'd get a spot in the 5 and seal it up and make it a little bit tighter. Held off it there was Hupperts. Trying to keep it in.
Just. Good possession by the boundary umpire there that only just went over the line, but he was about a yard and a half away from it and picked it up very well.
Yeah, good spot from him. I got to tell you, I don't know if I want to be the ball in and out of bounds so often because the clock doesn't stop when that happens. If I was the St Mary's coach, I'd want it downfield as quickly as I can. Ryan Moo gets a hand on it. It's going to be difficult here. Punched over the back. Politis again, serviceable game tonight. McCarthy balks. The O'Dwyer medalist from Tungala sends it forward, but it's going to be picked off by Parnell. Parnell plays on quickly for St Mary's. They've got to conjure up something here. They're well and truly inside their defensive 50 as Matty Green goes for a run. Gives a handball over the top. Gives it out to Hillier. Hillier with a kick overboard. Back live. Saints flying forward. Still coming through is Cruiserberger. Hurried kick. It's going to be short. Oh, knocked off the ball by Yaron. Oh, he's gone. You would have thought Cruiserberger had a chance. He didn't have a chance. In fact, it wasn't Cruiserberger, it was Hunt. Liam Hunt did everything but throw that away. So is that the last roll of the dice? It's got to be close. 21 minutes and 3/4 gone here at TIO in the 4th quarter. Nightcliff just slowing it right down. They've got a 2-point lead. It's not just 2 points that they're going to win by. It's the 4 premiership points they pick up that moves them into 5th. Slowly, slowly. They don't care. Shoo that clock down. It's over the back. Hartlett's in there. It's tapped out by Hillier. Parnell trying to get it forward. They're not giving up yet, the green machine, as Hillier just puts it on the boot, sends it out of bounds on the full, and you'd have to think that's almost it. I don't want to call it, but it's going to be close.
2 points to Nightcliff. They haven't led since about halfway through the 2nd quarter. We were bouncing around 3 points either way. They've always had the feel of a late quick kick was going to win this one. Still could yet, though.
Harry Butler is there within possession of the ball, and that's the ball game. 2 points the difference at TIO. 4 premiership points. 5th spot sealed, you would think, for the Nightcliff Tigers.
Nightcliff Tigers, 7 goals, 9-51. Defeated St Mary's 6-13-49. Last time they met, the Tigers kicked 7-18. So a bit of a comeback there, but it was one of those games that was a bit scrappy in the middle, but at the end of it was always going to be exciting with the scores were close. Goal scorers for the Saints. Dylan Lance got 1. Nicholas Yaron got a beauty. Jackson Calder got a couple. Jay Boyle got 1. And Jack Gallagher got 1 for Nightcliff Tigers. Daniel Quinn got a beauty. Hamish Hartland got 1 there to settle in towards the end there. Hibbert's got the goal of the year. Philo got 1. Jackson Bowen got 1. And Bailey Edwards a couple early in the match. Hard decision for their best on ground. It was all over the place.
Wow, yeah, it's a tough one. But I think Hamish Hartlett for 4 quarters had an absolute cracking game as far as I'm concerned. I thought that he was probably the engine driver throughout that. I was very impressed with Petros Politis as well. And then I thought Bailey Edwards came into it when he had to. But they had some contributors in the end. He's an awkward ruckman. Jackson Bowen did the job he was asked of all day. Saints, though, gee, they had some contenders there. Dylan Land was kept under a lot of pressure throughout that, but managed to hold his own. They couldn't, however, Sorry, I should not mention the back six of Nightcliff. Ryan Nyhouse, Nathan Brown was exceptional. Brian Nyhouse was also exceptional, and Wines, Luke Wines was also very good. And, you know, for St Mary's, Long, Parnell, they were all. It was a real battle of the back lines, and they made it difficult. They made it difficult for the Nightcliff forwards. But I just think around that middle, I mean, Nate Paredes was very good, but I just thought that when it counted, Hamish Hartlett and those guys stood up and wanted it more, and your call on Lachlan Huppert's goal of the year on the money. I think we're going to see that replayed a few times over the next 7 days, and if you missed it, then I would recommend you go back and have a look in the last few minutes of this game, because that was an absolute cracker.
Absolutely, and Hartlett's one just before that, you're right, I'd love to see his stats tonight. He must have done miles, because every time I saw him, he was running and running hard. And the great thing he was doing as an ex-AFL player, he was helping the young guys. He was pointing moves out, he was doing a lot of... Being a Port Adelaide supporter in the heart, but it was good to see him out there doing that sort of stuff. But we've got one more game to finish the round. Tomorrow at Tracy Village, Wanderers take on Waratahs. Your choice for that one tomorrow, Waratahs?
Oh, I think winning form is good form. I'm going to pick Waratahs. Federation Cup. There's a lot of intense rivalry between these clubs. They're both 100-year included. So look, I'm going to go with Waratahs. I just think that they are in a better position, and they got a lot more to play for and want to really lock up that double chance.
All right, next week round 16, all games on Saturdays, 2:30 at Gardens Oval. The Bombers versus Wanderers, 4 o'clock at Norville, Southern Districts versus Pint, 6:30 at Darwin, Mass and Nightcliff Oval. The Buffs versus the Tigers, that'll be a good one. And at TIO at 7 o'clock, Palmerston versus St Mary's. It's been a pleasure to host you this evening. My name is Nick Danks. I was joined by Ashley Manakaris. Thanks, mate.
Yeah, fantastic.
Thank you for joining us. We'll catch you tomorrow from Tracy Village for Wanderers versus Waratah.